Hi, welcome. All right, so we're recording. I got messages recording. Kathy, my slideshow is in the chat. And then in the rare event that this thing has more than just a handful of people, does someone feel comfortable moderating if it were to strangely become a large group? Moderating, as you've probably seen, is if something appears on the chat and I'm not aware of it, just bring my attention to it. It would obviously mean someone's stay the whole time, or just let me know if you're going to leave.
I can do that, Kip.
Oh, right on. Thank you so much, Debbie. And then, Debbie, you all have the link to the slides if I missed that someone came in and I didn't. I've put it in there a couple of times. And there's Sean. Hey, Sean. He's already got the link. Okay. Well, I will go ahead and begin. Sean, is there anything you want me to know?
No, I just popped in to say hello and make sure that things were getting off to a good start. And as long as there's people here, I'll just publicly thank Kip for taking time out of her already incredibly busy schedule to put some of this together for me. I asked her, or I asked they, because they is, I'm still learning,
Thanks,
right?
Sean.
I'm gonna be,
I know,
I'll be
thanks.
open about my learning.
Learn with me.
Yeah, absolutely. They has been doing a lot of work with WeVideo previously with students. So I figured it's good to have a captain kick things off. So thank you very much, Kip.
You're welcome, Sean. I'm glad to feel like I have an area that whether I had no time to prepare or a lot of time to prepare, I'd have something to share.
Yeah, I know.
And some, yeah, surface area, a lot of surface area to learn as well. So
yeah. Well, I appreciate you. I am popping through these sessions that I help to encourage people to attend. And so I'm going to go and check on some of the other people that also volunteered their time. So I'll get out of the way. Thanks, everybody. Good to have you here.
Thanks, Sean. Okay, so I will go ahead and make my way a little bit through the slides just so you have an idea of how I've set it up today. If you don't already have your account active, that would be one of the goals. To make you comfortable with navigating through some of the basic menus, how to access, upload, and edit content, whether it's yours or the stock media. And then in our time to have you complete a sample video. Not knowing yet what some of your experience levels are, for those watching, that would be a goal and something that's very doable in a short amount of time. So I personally can find ways that doing multimedia and digital storytelling and screencasting fit all of the work we do, whether we're administrators or paraprofessionals. So I'll just say that on that slide. This little intro is what I call well, obviously it's an advertisement for WeVideo in the schools, but I think they do a good job showing you a broad overview of what it can do. And I'll let you watch that sometime on your own when you need a little pep talk. So in the chat right now, with all of us present, give a rating on your own level of experience in the broad video editing world. A 1, not much. I maybe did some screencasting because of distance learning. 10, like, oh yeah, I've been making movies. I'm a wedding videographer in the summers. So go ahead and put your number in the chat. Okay, I see a couple there. So that's great. And I think no matter your level of experience, that you are going to find some unique features of WeVideo. I'm pretty sure, Krista, you've been using a lot of iMovie. Kimberly, welcome. I see you're at a 7, so it'll be interesting to hear from you, from your experiences, how you see WeVideo possibly working. And then I see Robert and Kathy. So great. It's a nice range. All right. Thank you for contributing that. So let me just right now show you around the basics with WeVideo. And then we'll see if there are some project ideas that you have for your time today. First of all, if you are wanting to be doing what I'm doing, the first slide has the WeVideo icon in it, and that is a link to wevideo.com. So it's a hyperlink, so you could do this with me if you want, but if you want to just keep one tab up, no problem. So for staff and students, because the district bought a district license, you don't have to tell it I'm logging in or I'm signing up. You just say go with Google. So I already have a WeVideo account, but you may see that you'll need to specify which account. So I'm going to choose the identifiers. What you may see on the next screen is if you've had a previous WeVideo account, maybe it's free, they're going to want to ask you about merging your content. And I chose to have it merge my content with a previous account. When students do this, I'm finding that they're giving the students a survey. Maybe you're getting a survey as well. I tell students that we trust this company because we've bought their product, and doing a survey for them, completely up to them. Just trying to think about digital safety and all that. So once you are in, you're going to start on the dashboard. And there's several things that you can see on the dashboard. These menus at the top, dashboard, projects, media, exports, and groups. I have to admit, the first 4 years of using this product, I'm not even sure I used those. So it is now that I'm a little more advanced, I'm learning the file management much better. But today, if you are like, I just want to get in and start making a video, that's one of the pathways you can choose. Just get in, start making a video. Now, because I already have so many projects, it's asking me where to put it. I believe if you don't already have projects made, it is going to just say, it's going to put it into my video. So we are now in the video editor. And some people, right, when they look at this, they feel like it has a similar interface with iMovie or some version of iMovie. And so I have my media here. So this is something that as a beginner user, I started to get confused between these menus and these menus. When I'm in the editing, these are my friends here. So my media or stock media. And just one word of caution, I believe they're getting stock media from Creative Commons. And I believe they've got filters on it. Not everything gets filtered away. So I am not encouraging students to use stock media. And we can talk about controlling media through some shared projects. But if today you just want to play around, use the stock media, it will be still images, video images, and audio. I have a lot of my own media, but it's mostly in folders at the moment. So everything with WeVideo is drag and drop in terms of putting tracks. So these are just still images. They pretty much default to like a 5-second still. And then any of my moving images would be whatever that is, and I can trim and edit from there. So I'm going to move on before I go too much into the editing. But if you wanted to just get started from the dashboard, that's what you could do. One thing I've learned with the menu here is sometimes I will actually take the time to tell it to save or change the title of it. But it does appear to save. If I were to just close my computer right now or have a power failure or something, most often it is there. So like a Google Doc, but they do still have this save feature. I am just going to actually stop screen sharing right now. It's not exactly what my plan was, and just see if there are any questions or directions that you would like me to take now with my demo. And you can just speak it because I think we're a small enough group. Any ideas that you have?
Kip, I know that you'll probably get into this or maybe not in this intro one, but one of the things that I think is super powerful about WeVideo, you were talking about the tabs across the top, is that those projects can be made collaborative. So students can actually work in real time together on a video project. So I just like that's, I haven't even got to use that yet with students, but I do think
Let me
that's
show
pretty
you.
awesome. I think that's a really cool thing that we can have kids work together, particularly when we're at distance, right? We can have kids actually create together, even though they're not sitting next to each other, which I think is awesome.
Yeah. Thanks for piping that in. Let me go right to that. And then one thing, Sean, I'm going to just make sure I sampled that. And I didn't find the sharing was able to be in real time, but I'll show you what I did find. So let me go back to video. Okay, so I think I'm sharing here. So let's go to projects. Okay, so I've got a lot of projects. Great. Let me just start a new one here. And here, when you start a new project, is where you have the option to work with making it personal, collaborative, or shared. Now, just so you know, the language project is more of a container. Video edits, there can be video edits and named videos within a project. So let's say that I teach, let me pick something that I maybe know a little bit about. Let's teach Phi-Ed. And I want the kids that are in, maybe they're doing floor hockey. I want floor hockey team A to create a highlight video of their season. I might choose collaborative because they can all work on the same video. But when I tested this with my wonderful tech para, Liz Rosenthal, we couldn't both be in it at the same time. So I could add an edit and then I would get out of the project and we tested, and she could add an edit and she could keep working on it. But when I went to go work on it while she was there, it had a little green bar that said, no edits can be made at this time because this using it. So maybe a slight hiccup compared to how we orient around Google Docs.
Yeah, that's right. I was a little casual with the in real time, but editing the same project during the
Yes.
same time period. Yeah.
Yeah. So it
Well,
holds a lot of brilliance.
and just to clarify my own little mistake there, and back to your piece, is what I mean is that video, the actual video that they're going to create, they can work on together within the container of a project.
Yeah, exactly. And revolutionary. I have to, a full disclosure, I started using WeVideos so that I really easy birthday scrolls for our, and all I wanted was something that would scroll. Time iMovie updated, I got too much into the weeds, and so I went to WeVideo. Collaborative piece is very radar, and it holds amazing power, far more than I have gotten out of it. And you also notice on my screen, immediately the group menu becomes relevant here. So I'm going to actually, I have created groups. So HL Media is my team of principal, dean, and tech para, who's come to our school mostly. So I can choose just a couple of them on this group. So again, every project can be a different group out of, or excuse me, different members out of, say I choose them. The other thing that I can dictate, and here's where my caution against stock media, if I've already given, then they're less likely to go out for it. Now, maybe I want the students to create media, great. But if you're working with kindergartners, maybe you have 5 pages of a book that you have photographed, a storybook, and you want to practice storytelling, and you go have them go into WeVideo. The media might already be preloaded for them, and they sequence the story, record themselves talking, and then that's your, you know, your exit slip or your test for them. So let me now go to groups then. I'll just get out of there. There's a couple different ways that you can work with. So those of us that are classroom teachers of a subject, we maybe want to say this is biology first hour or something. I don't even know if we go by first period or hour in the high school. And then I can populate my group with people that are already in. And my guess is these are people already in the video environment. I don't know that one is automatically from our portal and our users in here. But then I could create my group, can also give a group code. So let me see if I can see that in my groups. Yeah, once I click on a group, rather than me finding each of them, I can give the code. And then this is a nice menu for some of the different things that you'll be doing. You can have projects here. You can see the exports here. So those of you that are advanced users of video editing in general, this is an part of WeVideo for me. So you'll probably be taking off with this. I don't have a lot to bring to this other than that I discovered that it's here and a little about how it works. I'm going to stop presenting and just see if there's another question or another direction, some other folks that have joined. So I'm going to also the slideshow. Anyone else have a question or something that you arrived wondering about? If not, I'll keep going through.
Kip, can you, obviously they've probably got, since it has music in there somewhere, right? That'd be like stock music. I'm assuming that's all royalty free in there.
Yes, it's all WeVideo's owned music. It's nothing that you'll recognize from, Adele or
Can you add that
Beyonce.
in, knowing that you're going to give credit?
You can. You can. I made one of the sample videos that I on this slideshow is my 5th grade recognition video. And I had to purchase the song for the Mary Tyler Moore show because I was doing a half video. And purchased the song and uploaded it as media.
Okay, what kind of program are you purchasing through? Because I'm so used to iMovie where you just connect to iMusic.
I think at the time I had a trial to what iTunes became music, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So somewhere I had a trial, I was able to download a song, upload it to media.
Okay.
But you're right, that portion of bringing in copyrighted material, it's doable as long as it's in the format. It is, you can bring in other videos, and I think I wouldn't even know right now if it's just .movs or .mp4s or .mp3s, but pretty much their content, I have it downloaded, I can bring it in. Okay. So yeah, I've seen kids use other music, popular music.
Okay. Thank you.
I'm perfectly happy with their selection. And if you're in the WeVideo and you're in the audio options, they've got the premium, and it's just more options. So I like it. The other thing is if you go to stock media and you want heavy metal music, you can type that in and it will probably bring something up. And here's where some of my concerns with stock media, once my kids used it one time with a trial, some of them went into the guns and the military, and it's like, yep, you'll find whatever you want in terms of that. And then I did a quick election search, and there was a picture of a homeless person who seemed to be unhoused with a sign that said something really vulgar. And the next day I went to look for it because I was trying to help Sean make sure the content that's on there is, filtered, and it wasn't there. So I think stuff comes in through their filters, but they get rid of it pretty quick. But I guess also in the age of kids creating content, I'd rather it be the stuff they bring in through Google Drive. There's actually an easy way to upload media through Google Drive. And as far as I know, it's just images and videos. Yeah, thanks for that question. Let me see, Bob, you're back. Is there anything in particular that you are seeing or wondering?
No, I just was hoping to get some kind of new tips and tricks for different things that we can use it for. And I've got some teachers who are asking about it and being able to use it with students. I've been poking around this week, just getting some resources from Mike and just seeing what we can do about teachers being able to create groups for kids. And that is a possibility within there because we have for SVTV, we had the pro version before it was purchased. Unfortunately, we weren't able to get reimbursed for that so we paid $200 to have our 30-person. If we could have waited, they won't reimburse us. But the biggest thing is helping teachers create groups and being able to, upload things and, using some of the different features of it.
Yeah, and on that note, other option besides when you start and you can make it personal, the other option is kind of one. It says shared, and you're sharing the media. So say you have science, a topic, you bring in all the pictures, then the kids do what is the labeling or the all working with the same. Again, that would be with a first grade class. I want to take that part of their hands, but I have what they're going to do with the. So it's kind of thing, for some reason, what comes to my mind is like when we would have a bag of props and everyone had a brown bag of props. Maybe this is for a theater club, and everyone goes their own performance with those props. And that somehow that feels like a translatable, like here's all the same media for this group of kids, whatever it is. Now, what can you create with it? And you give them parameters. So film festival or digital storytelling. So that was the only way I could see a use in my immediate, schema for that shared one. But I think what you're pointing to is teachers at Valley View wanting to, or Southview wanting to use the groups for collaborative. And I think it's got a lot of power to it. The fact that they can't be editing at the same time, I will say, so if that's sort of a drawback, benefit is my group members' edits were in there within a minute when I went back in. So, and that may be a reason for them to close out. WeVideo does timeout, but as a group project, they may want to be a little more like paying attention to how long they're staying in the WeVideo environment with that one up because of that. Let me show you, you mentioned tips and tricks. I'm going to show you a couple that I noticed, and you probably have too, especially because you're in a pro account. But I'll go ahead and share my screen a little bit for a couple different reasons. First of all, I'm going to go back to the slideshow and take out your pic. I'm going to go to the page of resources. Okay. So WeVideo's YouTube channel, the third resource on this page, has I think it's Tuesday tips and tricks. There were a lot of valuable resources at that. And the educator guide is an actual PDF. And then the WeVideo Academy is very subject related. But now let me go to my own WeVideo and show you. Bob, I'm not sure if you have done any screencasting yet, but when I discovered something about the screencasting, and let's see if I can find it here. Did I do it in that? I'm going to see if I can just go back to editing this. Otherwise, I'll show you. Yeah, it didn't do it. Okay, I'm just going to show you from here. To do a screencast, you do need to be in media menu in this kind of second tier of menus, because you'll see this record. I can also just do an audio recording, but let me see. Now that's going to put stuff over here. So I'm going to start a new video. All right. I'll just put it in test. So I'm in my media and I'm going to record. So to do a screencast, I can choose cam, just the screen, or both. But the pretty nifty thing using both, especially when you get to the editing, And I love Chrome tab feature on any screencaster. Sure. No, because we're doing a couple different things, but it is recording, and I will be on the tab, hold it to go to. I'm going to stop it and tell it to save. I've got to go back to WeVideo. Oops, sorry, I didn't have you join me on that. But look at this cool thing. So it now put my webcam video on video 2 and my slideshow on video 1, because the layers are what they are. But the cool thing is if I double click on video 1, I now can edit where my picture is. Even in mid-sentence, I could splice the video and make sure that I'm not covering up significant stuff. I can change the size. And I really found that to come in handy. And there's other things that I can do as well with the audio and whatnot. But changing my webcam view, having that be editable in and of itself was really helpful. And then if I wanted to change it in a certain spot, the other thing I have found, one of my tips, Bob, is if I do select all and I have multiple clips, it doesn't always take the top bottom ones. Like when I want to make a clean cut, I use Control. I press the lower track to select it with the upper track, because I want my cut to be exactly in the same spot. If you do select all, it'll grab all sorts of other clips left, right. So now that I've split that, I can move myself over for this portion. I got to be here. I watched a couple of curriculum night videos, and inevitably, if we're not paying attention, our face is covering up some piece of our slideshow. So I really that I can edit both of those layers. And I think I'm also able to extract audio and play with, or I can show it right here and play with it if I just expand the different track options that are there. So that was the other thing I had not used a lot for screencasting. I had used it for a show stuff, and it lets you do longer than the 5 minutes. One of the, I can't remember, thematic or screen, but I create 15-minute screens. I've edited all sorts of them. I've added graph. So if for reason I think staff of a screencast that it can upload right to Drive. It can upload right to your YouTube channel. So yeah, and I'm using it a lot for that as well. So if nothing else, I would love for every staff person who needs to do screencasting to consider it as their next option, or it's paid. We have all the full features, and it will allow any amount of time. And it plays nicely with Google Drive. So when you go to finish a video, you can tell it, send it to Drive and send it to my YouTube channel. Someone told me that Drive may be getting a bit, I don't even know how many gigabytes, but now I've just started sending it right to my YouTube channel. Because when people are playing through my YouTube channel, it's less susceptible to some of the lag that Drive might have. If I were sharing it as a Drive video, I don't know from the tech standpoint if that's 100% true, but I also am one that likes to duplicate where I have things just in case. So that's another kind of assurance that I'm going to have those files where I need them and when I need them. And I have 6 followers or subscribers on my YouTube channel. So I feel like that I have had a 600% increase since the year began. So yeah, that resizing of the that layer of your webcam, it's just brilliant. It was a game changer. And the other thing I gotta say, this is just totally random. If you record a video of yourself in a mask and you're pointing at things and you're talking about things, you can use it for more than one thing, and you can just change the narration. And so I had myself with a mask on telling the staff about how to use these new book boxes, and then I just turned that audio off, kept video, and added a new voiceover when I said to the kids, now remember, you get to keep your books for 1 week. And they had no idea what I was saying. They just saw me, you know, twinkling in the... So that's one of my new features. Yeah, exactly. Just the voiceover. Yeah, I actually think that's a really creative project for someone to record a video of themselves with a Mac and all the it could be saying. Just change the back. Which, speaking of backgrounds, the WeVideo has the capacity to do green screen. I have not used that. So if any of you used it at Southview, a little bit.
Yeah, the kids have used it. I haven't done anything with it. The kids are way better at it than I am. I mean, the whole program in general.
It's in hands. Yeah, it's great. I see you. Are you doing a sewing project?
Not exactly, but we're putting all our hopes and memories onto a big stick.
Oh, very cool. Very cool.
I'm just trying to sew them or hang them all up and tie them onto it.
Uh-huh. It reminds me of the other thing that got me into any kind of video editing was highlights, memories. And I think kids could use this as portfolio work in whatever capacity. You know, back when we used to have field trips, we would gather a lot of video footage and a lot of, you know, just the memories of a year. I love to use WeVideo as a highlight reel for whatever might come through. I was looking at some of the tutorials that are listed on the slideshow, and they have a great one that's the scientific process. So kids created, they knew the scientific process, so they had graphics that said each step, and in between they would show. One of them was with slime. They were making slime, and they wondered what would cause it to be, you know, more dense or more stretchable. So I guess I couldn't even begin to talk about the different ways that this is used, and the resources that are available. Like I said, if you just need a good birthday scroll. And actually, there are some tips I want to show you about scrolling. So let me just go to my own wheelhouse here. Share my screen. Somehow, there it is. Okay. Scroll, because if we want and members of our community to give credit, which is a pretty critical factor. I don't know why my audio went longer on this one, but just click. A little delay, clip that. Okay, so let's say I want to put in a scroll here. I go to text, and it's strange, but you're gonna go to not motion, And I always choose the end credit. Now, I think there's another that shows citations, but so we're in text, static, and I'm going to bring my end credits down. And I guess if I want to have, I'm not sure why it's not letting me put it in that. Oh, I see. Okay, I've got a bar there. A little bit smaller. Okay, here are my end credits. And to double click on them, now here's something I'm used to, is your view pane, edit pane. Then go over here and try to edit something that's maybe a little close. I've got to do my editor and then it will show up over here. So because I'm a big fan of birthdays, you know, so here's student 1. Oops, 32. Yeah, I could work on my sequencing. Okay. All right, so everyone. Okay. I like the copyright in there, but I can't remember the shortcut to get that little C circle. All right, so I text, and that is not going to automatically scroll. It's just going to be my text until I go to little, all that, but they're the animation symbol there. Now here is where I have to tell it where to start. So I'm just dragging this to start here. And here's where I tell it where to end. I just want to get it just, oops, sometimes it takes your whole screen. Okay, so there we go. Save changes, go back, and then my, there it is. Did my scroll. Now, you think for something so easy, and things here, but for something so easy, if I were to go in here and edit it, I double click to edit, or you can click on the little arrow. I got to go back to the bubble to work with my text. If I go down here, start change the size, I will tell you that it's a little wonky. This thing can also get a little wonky. You don't see it. Like up here, editing away, and hit save, and you don't realize that this star is hiding this. So it's often best to take away the animation when you're doing the changes, because sometimes, here's the other thing that gets a little wonky. Sometimes when I make my text bigger, the scroll cuts off. And so I actually have to take this, I wish I knew the technical term for it, but I actually have to increase the field of my text. I guess it'd be the text box. So, and this is sometimes a little laborious, and I may have to recenter it. Sometimes when I click auto adjust the text box, it'll get rid of all my spacing, but this time it didn't. So now if I click save, I don't have the scroll again, so I've got to go back and add the animation. But anytime I play with the animation, it is a little temperamental. Not so much playing with the animation, but anytime I play with the text itself, it doesn't like retaining the animation, probably because it's not going to necessarily keep working. But, and then those of you that haven't used this before, when I go to export, here are some features that I really like. Boy, I have had some horrible thumbnails come up when I get a screencast done and they choose the one time, you know, I looked just, that my mouth was open or something. So I like that I can choose which thumbnail I use. It's possible that I don't want the video for every share out. Maybe I only want the audio. And what I'm thinking about that is, let's say I'm working with a student and we're doing a reading assessment. I click on my phone, I record them, or we record something, but I want to actually take the text and, figure out, turn it into, or take the audio and turn it into text. Anyway, I like the fact that I can create an entire video, but work with the audio for something. I don't do enough high quality stuff to care about standard def and high def, but there it is. And the school has opened it up. I can save it to WeVideo. I can save it to Drive. I can save it to YouTube. And whether or not I mark it as as a public is only in the WeVideo world. I tell YouTube whether I want it unlisted or private. Google, I control the share settings. So this little toggle is only in the WeVideo world. And to be honest, I haven't found any of my birthday scrolls being used by anyone else. So I'm not sure how significant it is that we make them public or not. Maybe as we we're in a school environment, I'm not necessarily wanting to broadcast this beyond the school environment. So I think that would be important to not make that public, but I don't actually know what that looks like on the WeVideo end. Okay, so any other questions that any of you have?
Here's a random one. Do you know if you can do a freeze frame of your video?
Yes, you can. And how have I done that? Yes, you can. Let's go try it. Let's see. Right, because can you tell me a little bit more in what instance you're thinking of, just so I...
So when I'm sorry, like my camera's over here, but I'm looking at you on the computer.
Yeah,
okay. For the end of my new shows, it's been kind of traditional to the point where the kids plan out what it's going to look like from first grade on, that the kids in that crew will do some sort of crazy jump, and I'll freeze frame on them midair and then have their name come in for the ending credits. And they still want to do something like that, but if I can't freeze frame the video,
right.
Right.
So I'll just follow my train of, which does have some experience in it because I know I have it. But let's go to thing that has a video already in it. Okay, but let's see, I want to find a moving video. Okay, I think that has some movement in it. Not the way I want to see. So let's go to media. Yeah, okay, let's see if we drag this down here. All right. So freeze frame inside. If I were... Okay. Now I can see the edit menu, and there are... Let's see. That's the animation. It's a great question, and I'm pretty sure. I guess I could just slow it all away, which is a fun thing to do, up and slowing down.
Yeah.
But let me also see, and I don't know, it's a random tip and trick, but sometimes photos come in too small. It's not having an impact on this video, but I really do like sometimes to control that. But let's see, if I were going to do a freeze frame from here, if I were to cut that, well, you know what? Oh, here's a tip I meant to tell everyone. This little scroll bar, I'm not sure if you can see it.
Yeah, we can.
This is your friend, or it will cause great confusion. For younger learners with a perception that making it bigger might be making my video longer, you really want to tell them this is just the magnifier. Oftentimes I want to slide that bar as far to the left just to see what I have in my video and to make sure songs end at the right spot, because sometimes I drag in, sometimes I drag in a song, and let's just say it's over here. If I have this too big, you know, I kind of lose sight of, you know, where's the song ending and beginning. So anyway, so going back to that little piece, I think we can actually get one frame. If I'm not mistaken, we could grab the first frame of this video, because it is by frame. So there I went from one frame to another. And can I, oh, it won't let me, oh, it'll let me clip it after 2. So now let's see if we actually have a freeze frame. If we play that, is it going to have any detectable? Oh, wow, that went fast. Oh, and then actually, oh, well, here's the other thing that's a trick. Even though I have clipped this video, if I expand it, it's actually bringing back the video.
Yeah.
So that is interesting. So what if, well, here's the other thing. Okay, so this is just going to be overkill, but I'm going to copy and paste that multiple times. And this would probably not be how a WeVideo technician to do a freeze frame, but I just took a couple frames and put it on there.
So you could hear that I'm talking.
Okay, so that kind of did it.
Yeah.
It's a little too laborious.
Yeah.
But in a pinch, if you don't have time to call the WeVideo support.
Yeah. I mean, I tried searching it too, and like the phrase freeze frame does not come up anywhere on their search results. So
I got to say, another workaround, I take screenshots left and right, and then those screenshots just become still JPEGs or PNGs that I put into my video. So
yeah, that might be another thing to do.
That's another option.
Okay.
Well, I hope this has been helpful, and I do think there's a lot of good resources on the slideshow. I'm not sure, Eileen, if you got a link to the slideshow, but save that for later. I'll put it in the chat again. Oh, and then I need to remind everybody that at the end of the slideshow is I think you can get your CEUs, and then you can also fill out a summary evaluation questionnaire. So you can do that too. So thank you so much for being here. And Eileen, anything else that you're curious about? Because you might have seen me teaching it to the kids, or.
Yeah, I watched you teaching it yesterday, and I caught little bits and pieces, and I thought it would be just good to get a little better idea of what it was if I'm going to try to help the kids during the week.
Yeah.
Hi, Krista.
Bye, Krista. Oh, you're saying hi.
You stole Eileen from us, so.
Oh, I know. Yeah, that was a good trade. The managed, yeah, we got her on waivers.
Yeah.
But Eileen, have you gone in and actually activated your WeVideo account yet?
I did yesterday, and then my computer died, so I haven't had a chance
Okay.
to redo it again today or not yet.
No problem. As long as you have the ability to look and practice, and then when you're helping a kiddo, you know, the menus, remember that they span the top, and then usually there's some breakdown menus on the left.
Yeah.
And I'm happy to help anytime with the
Okay.
specifics that you come across.
Yeah, I figure, you know, they're in the classroom that can help me too if needed.
Oh yeah, the kids will know it really well. Yeah. Well, thanks for being here.
Yeah,
And good
thank
luck with
you.
those memory sticks.
Thanks.
Bye, Kip. Thanks.
Bye, Krista. Bye, Eileen.
Bye,
Debbie,
thank you.
anything you want to talk about, or should just say?
Nothing I need to talk about. Nope, I'm good.
Okay, I'll stop the
We're good now.
recording.
Oh yeah, that's
All
a good idea. All right.
right.
Yeah, we're good. I'll have Libby